Hello. Today I want us to discuss about the ellipses and then the properties of ellipses, and then further on we will go and look at one of the problem that I got from one of my viewer. So let's start. Today we are presenting about ellipse. So the ellipse has vertices which are never equal. That is so because in a circle the radius is always equal. No matter where you draw a radius from the center, it will always be equal. But with vertices, this one side is longer and then the other side is short. So it's kind of an egg shaped thing. That's why if you stand at the center and try to measure horizontal and vertical, you won't get the same answer. Okay, so these are the equations that we use to find the ellipses, or they follow these given equations. So the equations kind of interchange variables, the denominators b and a, depending whether the two lines major and minor is facing which side, or is horizontal or is it vertical. But let's first talk about the major. So if the major is vertical, then b divides x. But if the major is horizontal, then a is the one which is dividing x. So we also have to know that, or to note that these equations in this format are only valid when the ellipse is at the center. But if it's away from the center, then we kind of say we want to add, or we want to show our position. We want to show our position or the dislocation from the center with the coordinate. But in this case, we present those coordinates as in x we put k. So we say we are away from the center with k units, and then in y we put h to represent those coordinates. So we kind of saying we are away from the y axis with h units. Okay, so and then we also just do that in the other equation, depending whether we are at the center or we are away from the center. If you are not, if we are at the center, then we don't. There's no need for us to use the dislocation or the displacement units. Okay, and then we should also know that these equations are very important when you are dealing with ellipses. So we are saying c squared is equals to a squared minus b squared. So this one came from Pythagoras theorem. This one I will present it to you later. You will soon understand why do we have this equation in the ellipse. So in the ellipse, there exists always a right angled triangle. That's why it's giving us this equation. So we are actually just using Pythagoras theorem. And then we are saying the minor, which is the longer line, the shorter line or shorter vertices, is given by 2b, and then the major, which is the longer line, is given by 2a. And then e is the eccentricity, or the extent to which the ellipse is, or just the property. This is what gives the ellipse its properties. Okay, so it's given by c over a. Okay, and then I got a question from one of my viewers, and this is what I mostly want us to look at today. It says find the equation of an ellipse with eccentricity 1 over 3 and minor at the ends of a minor are at 1 1 and 1 3. So this is nice. So let's go to the plane and try to draw that. So this is our plane here, and then yes, this is my boy, a little boy. He's also a good mathematician. Hi Junior. Welcome to the class. Yes, so here we go. The points, as I said earlier, are at 1 1 and then 1 and 7. But this is the minor line or the shorter line. Okay, and we should also know that if we divide this line in between, we'll get the midpoint of which the major and the minor are intersecting at the center, or the center, which is F. So from here we can already see that our major will be along the y, no, it will be along what coordinate 4 on the y-axis. So you can just kind of simulate or just try to mimic where that thing will be, where the line will be. So that's the line, but then this line didn't end anyway, but we know our major should have an end, and somewhere the vertices should be some vertices a, and then on the other side should be minus a. So let's go forward and use the information that we got on hand. Yes, so now we have so let's also just simplify this one to make it is equals to c over a, which is equals to, so we are saying E is the same thing as c over a, which is equals to 1 over 3. And then now we have the center, which is given by the coordinates we got there, which is 1 in x-axis and 4 in y-axis. Okay, so once we get the center, we can reveal a lot of some other important facts. Okay, so from there we go on to use the other formulas that we have. So we know that c squared, so we are just trying to figure out things which are apparent. We know that c squared is equals to a squared minus b squared. Okay, so there we go. And then, so if that is the case, why can't we just say because we know we know that major also, major or minor, just start with minor here because minor is the one that we have. Minor is given by is equals to 2b. But here we already know what a minor is. From here we know already what minor is, because we are saying this is how many units? 1 2 3 4 5 6. So 6 is equals to 2b. So we are saying this is 6 units, or we can simply say 7 minus 1, which is 6. So minor here is equals to 6. So this says minor is now equals to 6 is equals to 2b. So we can divide through by 2, so we get what is the value of b, and then the value of b is equals to 3. So b is equals to 3. Cool. So let's go ahead and use some other formulas, just trying to look at some loopholes so you can play around with this everything, and then until we get the equation. But first of all, we should also look at this. So it says the minor is vertical, so means the major is horizontal. And then when the major is horizontal, what we do is we look at here. We know when major is horizontal, so this is the formula. So we are going to use this formula. We're going to use this formula. So this is the formula we are trying to find out. So now we know how many units we've moved away from the x-axis, or from the origin in x-axis. So it's 1 unit. So we put that 1 unit, and then how many units we moved away from the center in the y-axis? That's 4 units. So we put that 1 unit here, and then here we put 4, because we are saying we moved 4 units in the y-axis. Okay, but also we know that c over a is equals to 3, and then this one, c squared is equals to a minus a squared minus b squared. So if we present those two equations together, we kind of get something like a simultaneous equation. We are saying we're having c squared, and then this one here is equals to a squared minus, but we know that now b is equals to, b here is equals to 3. So you can just put 3 squared, which is 9. And then we can make 9 the subject of formula. So it follows that c squared is equals to, let me just take the a, so we should just take this a to the other side, so we make 9 the substitute of formula. C squared is now equals to C squared minus a squared is now equals to minus 9. And we also know that C over A, so you can just write C over A there. C over A is equals to 1 over 3. That's what they've given us, so we don't bother ourselves lots of stories. It's equals to 1 over 3. Okay, so also we can make C the substitute formula, and then it follows that C is equals to A over 3. So now C is equals to A over 3. A over 3. Then by substituting into the equation, any of the equation, then we'll definitely get the answer. So you can substitute, for instance, into this one, C squared minus A squared. Then we'll get C squared, because we are now saying C is equals to A over 3. So whatever in this equation, which is C, we substitute, we replace it with A over 3. So we get A over 3, and then this all squared, then minus A, which is also squared, is equals to minus 9. Then we can solve this one until, and then the answer will be A squared so it's A squared, or let me just write it in full in case some of you guys don't know what I'm trying to do here. So it will be A over A squared, so that will be A squared, because don't forget we've got a square outside the bracket, so it will be A squared over 9, because 3 squared is 9, then minus A squared, we get is equals to minus 9. Then if we multiply both sides by 9, this 9 will cancel, and then here it will be minus 9A squared, and then minus 81. So that will further go to A is equals to, if you solve for this one, you will find that A is equals to 3.2 is the value of A. So, and then we know the measure is 2A, so we just multiply this one to get the measure. But for now, let's just give what we are asked of. So this will be 3 squared, and then this will be 3.2 squared. So that's the equation. We are there. That's what they are trying to challenge us with. Okay, but then I just also want to present that one in the using the graph so that you guys can see what you are trying to say. But also, if we were to find the focal, let's say they wanted us to find the focal and then the equation. So the focal will be given by C. So that is because C is how many values or how many units have moved into x-axis to the focal point from the center. Like how many values, how many units you have moved away from the center to the focal point. So we could say the foci here is C is equals to so if substitute this one with, if you want to find the foci, let me just then it follows that the foci is given by, so foci is given by plus or minus C, I mean 3.2, which is A, 3.2 over 3. 3.2 over 3, which is equals to 1.1. So that's the answer for this is our foci. So it's either at minus 1.1 or we can say is 1.1 units on the left of the center and 1.1 units on the right of the center. Yes. So I just want to present this one before this guy arranged everything, because he also liked playing with mathematics and everything in the class is just okay. So we are saying from the center the focal point is 1.1 units, so we can say it's 1.1 unit. Let's say the 1.1 unit is here, and then the other 1.1 unit is there. Then I will just draw that one. Just make sure that where it cuts, where that line cuts the points A and B, that's where the thing is. Then now, if so, this one proves that we have done it right, because you can see from here to here is 3 units, because this one is the minor, means is the shortest one, which is the minor line is 6 units, and then we can see that from here to here is 6 units, then plus this and this, so that will give us about 6.4 units. So this is the major one. Okay, thank you for watching. Subscribe my channel, subscribe on YouTube, and then like my videos so my channel will keep on running. Until next time, I'll present anything that you guys have. If you have questions, just drop it down, and then I love you so much. Thank you.